Welcome to 2024 Formula One Hungarian Grand Prix race day recap because this race deserves, I think it's been one of the most eventful, chaotic race of the 2024 season yet. And I got my notes because I was watching the race live and I was taking notes of all the highlights to tell you here to give you all the goods. And because it was chaotic from the start to finish, let's start with the very beginning. It was lights out and away we going in Hungary. And that start from Lando that was starting on pole, second Oscar, and third Max, there was like all of three of them were like right next to each other. And Oscar did a great move, kind of not giving so much space for Lando and Max that he went and took the lead, and that made Max run wide. Even though he did run wide, he stayed on second, but because he was off track, he had to give that position to Lando, so he did still stayed in third place. But Oscar took the lead, Lando staying number two. It was a great move from Oscar. And because of this, that Max ran wide, he made a few comments that I'll put it right here. This is what he said about this whole situation. This his radio messages this race, it was the funniest thing. It was like the second most chaotic thing that happened. Cuz the first one, I'll get into that. But I wanted to talk about the Ferraris. They had such a good pace this race. They were doing so good. They were like on the top six, top five. Leclerc even weren't leading the race at one point. He even had the fastest lap. And they were having such a great pace. Carlos as well, coming from, especially Charles coming from Monaco. It was incredible. He just went downhill. He was crashing. He crashed in FP1 or FP2 in the practice in Hungary. So coming from all the bad situations he actually performed really good this race. So which nobody really paid attention to it because everyone was on the other business. But yeah, the Ferraris had a great pace this weekend, but they're on third on the championship as well as Charles is on third on the drivers championship and Carlos is fourth. By lap 24, we like just the beginning of the 70 laps for this race. Pierre Gasly retired his car. I was like, wait, what happened? This is like the second time that has happened this 2024 season that he had to retire the car. And I think the third thing talking about this weekend, it was the fight between Hamilton and Max. That was a wheel to wheel battle. Max even went flying. That's what I'm telling you. They were fighting for third place and they were fighting for so many laps. I was like, this is not like they were like keep overtaking, but Lewis always had a little bit of the lead. And a lot of people are saying like Lewis had Max right there fighting for third place, that Max couldn't go into the fighting with Lando and Oscar. But that was just another fight. Talking about the Lando and Oscar situation, Oscar was leading the race mostly the entire time, but around lap 29, Lando was in second, and McLaren told him that he could fight for P1. They told him, you're free to fight Oscar for P1. The strategy from McLaren this weekend, questionable. All the things that were saying on the radio. But on lap 60, Lando actually started leading the race. Oscar had Lando pit stop first, and then Oscar pit stop second. To keep that first and second places. Trying to cover from Hamilton that was on third. So Lando pit stop first and then Oscar second. So that made Lando lead the race. And he had around 3 seconds to like even 6 seconds gap to Oscar. But McLaren told him to swap places with Oscar because on the undercut and the strategies. But it was really confusing because McLaren gave priority to Lando. That's why they put him first. But then they realized, I guess, they made a mistake that they should have put Oscar first. That's what they should have done, and that wouldn't happen if Lando would have lead the race. But that was a strategy that didn't work out, and they told Lando to please swap places with Oscar. They told him a lot of times that Lando at first was hesitant of like to give it up, and he said, "Oh, tell Oscar to catch up." And then he would give the place back because it was even a 6 seconds gap, and even when you think, oh, 6 seconds in Formula One, is a lot. But that's the most chaotic part that comes in those laps that McLaren are giving orders to Lando to switch places. There was a lot of things exchanged from McLaren to Lando, such as you can win this championship by yourself. Is you will need Oscar, you will need the team. I know you would do the right thing. But at the end, even though Lando had that win secure, he kind of didn't because he did let Oscar pass. And the last two laps, he made Oscar sweat. I would say that because he was not giving it, and then he did at the very two laps. So he did, and Oscar secured his maiden win. Oscar Piastri won the Hungarian Grand Prix. He's the Formula One race winner for the first time ever. Let's give him an applause because this is his second year in Formula One, and he already won a race. And his first year he won a sprint race, and he's doing great. Like it was about to happen soon. I just wish it was in another circumstances. I feel like no one is really celebrating his win as it should have been. I personally am a McLaren fan, and I would have loved for the win to be different. But it is what it is. It's team strategies. Everyone is saying McLaren just messed up the strategies and are creating this tension between the two drivers. And the top four highlights of the race, it was McLaren radio's messages to Lando, Max Verstappen radio messages to Red Bull. I'm telling you, this race, it was the radio messages because even other messages from, I believe it was Aston Martin, Williams, exchanging of messages, it was like, what is going on? I'm telling you, it was a chaotic race. There was no other words. And third, it was Oscar Piastri's first Formula One win. His maiden win, first time winning in Formula One in his second year in Formula One. Amazing. And fourth, that we can't forget, it was the 1200 podium for Lewis Hamilton. And no one has done that. Let me know if you watched the race live, what was your favorite thing? And if you didn't, you're watching this to know the recap. What do you think about this recap? It's the first time I'm doing it. It's my first kind of YouTube video, so let me know if you like it, if you liked it, or if you like a different way. Just let me know in the comments. So yeah, and comments anything, your favorite things about this race, about this weekend, and I'll be sure to like and reply. Thank you for watching. Bye.